Have you guys had your breakfast? Well, hopefully you have your breakfast before the session or during the session so you can be more mindful. Yes, that's right, Satya. So, good morning again to everyone present. My name is Brian, and I'll be your MC today for InvesTalk 2 Mindful Investing. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone to fill the attendance link for InvesTalk 2, which is provided in the chat box. This is extremely important as the lucky draw winners will be taken from the list of participants. So stay tuned for that. There are mystery prizes which will be revealed later the session after the session with our speaker. Non-MMU participants may insert your IC number in place of your student ID. Also in the chat box is a link to a mindfulness survey done by Miss Fatin. Miss Fatin is a master's student under the supervision of Dr. Lai. This survey will only take 2 minutes at most to fill in. I would like to urge everyone to turn on their camera later when we have a photo session after the Invest Talk. So before we start today's Invest Talk, Mindful Investing, I am honored to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Lai Ming Ming. Dr. Lai is a professor at the Faculty of Management, Multimedia University. Her main research interests focus on areas of equity investments and behavioral finance. In view of global aging and the Industrial Revolution 4.0, she has ventured into new territories, namely environmental gerontology and well-being and mindfulness. In July 1989, she graduated with a degree in Bachelor of Business Administration with first class honors at University Kebangsaan Malaysia UKM. In August 1994, she completed her master's in business administration and achieved a 4.0 CGPA upon 4.0 point scale at Wichita State University, Kansas, United States of America. In May 1998, she continued her PhD in Doctor of Philosophy PhD thesis in anomalies, time signals, and stock prices in the KLSC at Multimedia University MMU. Her extensive and enriched experience research has successfully placed her name in several local and international journals. Just to name a few, the Journal of Behavioral Finance, the Journal of Asian Economics, and Quarterly Journal of Business and Economics. Dr. Lai's active involvement in research paved her way to success as she bagged numerous awards and recognition nationally and internationally. She is also listed in a variety of directories, including Who's Who in America 2008 and Who's Who in the World 2008. Dr. Lai also possesses two certificates of online mindfulness courses from Be Mindful, which is based in the UK, as well as mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is an 8-week online course held in the year 2019 and 2020 respectively. I would like to pass the stage to Dr. Lai to begin the talk. Before we begin, a big round of applause for Dr. Lai.
Okay, Brian, can I take over?
Yes, Doctor.
Brian, are you recording these sessions? Is this session is being recorded?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. Thank you. Very good morning to all of you. Okay, well, this is our semester break for our MMU students. Can you see my screen first of all? Can you see? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. So very good morning to all of you. Spending this time with us during semester break, and also to all the public. Spending the time with us in the multimedia institute via Google Meet. First of all, I'd like to thank this BYIC for the invitations. Majority of them, the organizer are my students, so I support my students. For accepting to share this mindful investing with them. So given this BYIC is a Pusa Young Investor Club. So thank you for the very nice introductions. So I myself is the professor in Faculty of Management Multimedia Studies. So so far everything okay. So I'd like to share my presentations. You see the slide?
Yes, doctor.
You see my slide? You see the slide, class?
Yes, doctor.
Right? Yes, okay. So I like to also thank anything. So former students now is very successful. Is working with Zealand's capital also, CIMB. So he will brought some his context to this talk. And then I think it's timely for us to have this mindful investing. This mindful investing concept actually is very new in US. CFA 2021 just published that they implement this mindfulness program for the members. CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analysts. So first of all, we'd like to of us to be mindful today. To be mindful means to be truly alive, present, and one with those around you and with what you are doing now. So for those who are attending today, so you're attending my talk today on mindful investing. Hopefully you can be mindful, especially this moment, this 1 hour. And then you can be truly alive. Brian, so far everything okay? Just one check. Everything okay?
Yes, doctor.
Good. So let us congratulate ourselves that we are dedicating some precious time today to our health, financial, and resilience. May we know that this is an act of self-love. So for today's session, it's because it's mindful investing is a very new concept. So how does it come about? So I will explain what is mindfulness. Then we'll go to investing, and then we'll explain why and mindfulness come into investing area, and then after that we'll go more in depth of the key concept mindfulness. So first I want to introduce the definition of mindfulness. The term of mindfulness actually comes from the Pali word called sati. In sati, it means to remember. According to John Kabat-Zinn, person who popularized this mindfulness in Western society, he said that mindfulness is the awareness that emerges to pay attention on purpose, being the present moment and being non-judgmental to unfolding experience moment by moment. So mindfulness actually is an ancient practice, but now this John Kabat-Zinn, he's a medical scientist. So in the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, so in the school, medical school. So he brought this concept to the medical field. So that's how he defined it. So in this case, mindfulness means you aware of what you're doing, and then you pay attention to the present moment. So in layman term, in Malaysia, we also have some medical doctors, they call it a pay attention. So like remember in the those in the school, in primary school, especially the teacher asks you, pay attention, actually asks you to be mindful, to be focused. And then mindfulness is presented as a practice rather than theory. So if you want to enjoy the benefit of mindfulness, you need to practice it. And why this mindfulness, what is so great about it? So when I study it, to add on, I even secure a national grant from Ministry of Higher Education and Mindfulness, how this mindfulness can help B40 and M40 group. So Okay, so here you must understand our body is always at the present moment. For example, now you're sitting in front of your PC or your laptop or your handphone or watching this my talk via Google Meet. So your body is at present. But how about your mind? Is your mind be present? Is it with me, or your mind is travel to the past, yesterday, what happened, or your mind thinking to the future? Because our mind will travel. Okay, and then in this case, our mind usually will travel to the past or travel to the future. When you start worrying about something that not yet happened, okay, then you are not mindful already because your body is here. Okay, so okay, so usually we worry what happened in the future because future is uncertain. We regret what happened in the past. So when you have this kind of things happen, it's very normal. Don't blame yourself. Everyone have it, myself have it, everyone have it. And then what we need to do is bring our mind back to the present moment so that your body and mind, okay, are together. So they are in harmony. So when you're in harmony, you can see things clearly, you are more aware. Okay, thanks for concept of mindfulness. And then when you, in this case, mindfulness focus on the present moment. Present moment, so in this case, we have to be happy in every moment. So according to Mother Teresa, be happy in the moment, that's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more. Okay, so think that, okay, next time I earn a lot of money, I'll be happy. Why not you be happy now? Don't say no. Don't say I pass the exam in the air, I pass the first class honors, I happy. That is wrong concept. You should be happy now. This picture actually I was I took this picture when I visited the Shirakawa in Japan. So I enjoy the present moment, okay, at moment. So in this case, so because you might understand in life, we are here to be happy. Even when you do investing, it ultimately what we want to do is earn higher returns. Higher returns, why you want to get higher returns? You want to be happy. Why not you be happy at this time, also happy investing at the same time? Okay. And now I will move, so that's a basic definition of mindfulness. Okay, now we come into this investment. Why actually I give mindful investing talk? This is the first time, okay, I think you all are very lucky, first time, okay, we give this kind of mindful talk. Also because CFA is doing it. When CFA implement this mindfulness concepts to the members, I will get a short amount. Then doing it, then we have to do it for our students, okay, because our students will be a future employees. Okay, so we have to catch up with what happened in the US. See, okay. So what is now I back to what is investment? For some of you having this background, okay, if you do not have the background, okay, I will go work through with you. Those who have the background investment, bear with me, okay? So in life, we make many investment decisions. Some students say, I don't have money. In fact, every day, okay, we make a small investment decision, a big investment decision. For the student, actually, the moment you choose MMU to enroll to MMU for your, bachelor degree, actually you're making an investment decision. You're spending 3 years or 4 years time. Hopefully, during this period, you get the value that you get is more than the cost that you spend here. Okay, so after you're working, so okay, you are earning some money for those that graduate in the public. I'm sure you're working. Okay, so you're earning. Okay, you're earning and spending money, and then when your current income you're earning is more than your current consumption, which is expenses, then you have the extra. So this is what we call by saving. For those people who do not have saving, don't think about investment. Save money first. Okay, to share with you, okay, based on the practice and the theory, please save 40% of your salary after take home pay. 40% of salary saving every month. You need to practice saving. If you cannot get 40, at least 30, don't get 20. I read from newspaper, okay, the youngsters nowadays do not have a saving at all at the end of the month. That is very bad. Okay, so once you have the savings, so how okay, so you can choose to put your saving under the pillow, under the mattress, or you can bury under the bed. Then your amount remains the same. Okay, amount remains the same. And then in this case, usually we don't do that. So we want our saving to grow bigger and bigger. So this is what we call by investment. Okay, as simple like that. So A formal definition, a textbook definition, means that an investment is a current commitment of a dollar for a period of time. Okay, in order to derive future payment that is higher. Why you want future payment to be higher? Because you have to compensate this investor for the time they committed. So when you invest it at least several times, so must understand this is a short-term investment, it's a long-term investment. Do you need the money or not? And then also have to compensate. Second is to compensate your rate of inflation during this period. The third one is uncertainty, means the risk. Okay, in the stock market, we always call this, in the a simple term, we're using uncertainty because future is uncertain. So why one investment having a different rate of returns as compared to another investment? It's because of element of number 3, not element number 1, number 2. Number 1, number 2 affect all asset, all investment equally, same, about the same. Number 3 is the one that vary because of the risk. So very simple for this young investor. If someone tell you that very high returns but very low risk, I tell you please aware, it most likely is a scam. No free lunch in this world. Okay, so far. Then okay, please for young investor, I'm more worried about young investors. So I share this. So if you want higher return, you have to bear higher risk. And then what are the choices you have? So your Bursa young investor, you're only talking about common stock. Here I adapted a table from the US, the textbook scenario, but it is, I think, apply in all countries. Okay, so look at this, you can convert to Malaysia. So these are the choices that one can invest in the real life. Okay, so you can invest in a bond, preferred stocks, warrant, options, future, unit trust. In Malaysia, the concept of unit trust is very similar to mutual fund, real estate, and low liquidity. Of course, you can put in FD. Well, our experience and our also survey we've done in the past, so that most of the Malaysian investors at least buy real estate. Okay, because they have to stay less potential. Can see that the less potential you buy for your personal use is less than the common stock risk, because it's something tangible. Common stock share is something intangible. Okay, and then after that, if you want to buy commercial, means a short block, all this. And then if you're someone that invests in the futures, option, all these are actually, or even warrant, your risk is actually very high. So when using mindfulness, you can invest, but you must aware that your risk are taken. It's not that you invest in the future, but you thought that it's low risk, and then it's low. So you might have that kind of awareness. Okay. So and bond, usually we don't invest for the individual, for company, yes. Okay, unless a special issue by bank government, it's a small scale. Okay. And then the saving account. So most I can see that Malaysian investor put money in the FDs, again the real estate, all this, and then sometimes they invest in the stock. Okay, so our focus on today is more on the stocks. Okay, we cannot able to explain all this due to the time constraints. Of course, if you do not know how to invest or do not have time, I think you know, but do not have time to invest, okay, you invest in mutual fund. Let the professional manage for you. But one thing about mutual fund is about 3 years. It's a medium term. 3 years, you better put the money, able to put the money for 3 years. Because the commission rate is quite high, and also it takes time to grow. For example, if you need the money to pay your tuition fee, you need the money for urgent use, don't invest in the mutual fund. Okay, it's not that liquid. You can invest later when you sell at a lower price. That's what we say by this. Okay, so you have to understand the characteristics. And then for those usually I have to share, because for this preliminary investment. So before you even do investing, so you have to do some preliminaries of investing. What by preliminaries of investment? You need to have enough insurance to cover for yourself. Okay, so don't buy insurance for the sake of investment unless you got a lot of money. Then okay, you cover all things. But we buy insurance for the peace of mind, for the protection. It's very important. You must buy this one first. The extra money then only to do stock investment, because this is a small amount of money. Okay, 2,000 or 2,500, 3,000 can cover 100K. Okay, and then what you need to buy, for example, make sure you can cover your health insurance, can cover life insurance, and cover disability insurance. It's 3 in 1. So for the young investors, okay, so invest in the insurance first before you go to the stock investment. Okay, because in case anything happen to you, you got some medical coverage, and then your family also, okay, if anything happen, touch you really have some, okay, income for you. Okay, then how much to buy? Okay, don't buy too many, also don't buy too little, then it's not enough. The formula is 0.7 times 7 times annual income. It's almost 4.9, meaning about 5 years of your annual income. Those are working adult, check your annual income, make sure you get 5 years coverage, total insurance coverage. So if you earn 75K, mean total insurance coverage should be about 367,500, about that figure. Okay. Of course, at the automobile, we also encourage you to buy comprehensive insurance. Okay. Don't save a little bit money, then some money go to invest in the stock. No. That is not the way that you do personal finance. So here, investing means that you must know how to manage your money. And so insurance is one kind of investment. Get this investment in the buy the basics. So nowadays, a lot of companies offer a very good package. Okay. At the same time, please to have a cash reserve. For example, now it's a pandemic. It's very obvious that you might have a job, pay cut or some loss of job. But if you have enough cash reserve, that is good enough. So you can cover about 6 months at least. It's possible now with the pandemic. I think maybe extend to 12 months. But theory says 6 months. Yes. Okay, so here this you can put in the very liquid asset, means is the stock, but it's make sure it's a very good asset. Because some you must understand, later I will explain that the stock investment, one thing is the capital will grow, but capital also will lose. You are experiencing capital gain or capital loss. Not like the money FD, fixed deposit, your capital is still there. What you need is earn the interest. Okay, so whenever you invest it, okay, for those who are not from the finance background, make sure you understand the characteristic. If you do not understand nowadays, very simple, go to search Mr. Google, ask Mr. Google and do some. You have to do some on your homework. Okay, that is what we do primarily on investment. Okay, so make sure because when you have peace of mind, okay, in case anything happen to you, you have all this, then is okay, your mind is peaceful, it's more calm, then you can make better decisions. Now I'd like to proceed to stock investment. Okay, so stock investment at a glance, mean overall what we say about here is each stock have an intrinsic value. In Malaysia, we seldom in the public, okay, they don't using intrinsic value, but they're using target price. Meaning is that each stock, okay, having a target price. For example, Telecom Malaysia, parent company, they also have a target price. Mean fundamentally, what is the value of this price? And then you must also understand, stock also like a human being, they got characteristics. Are they a growth stock? Are they a value stock? Are they a cyclical stock, a speculative stock, or defensive stock, a penny stock? Speculative stock is very close like a penny stock. Okay, each of stock they're having a different characteristics. Okay, and then what kind of strategies you are using it? Okay, so you can using active management strategy. You're always looking for abnormal returns, mean alpha value. Okay, you want to earn more. Okay, another school of thought that say, no, I believe the market is efficient. I cannot outperform the market. Then in this case, I invest passively. You just buy the stock and hold the stock and then compare against the benchmark that you have. Okay, usually a benchmark is the market indicator. So you are fine in US, they're having an active strategies, having a passive strategies. Active strategy not necessarily more than a passive, because active strategy you incur more cost, more research. Sometimes it might be performed below, but we hope that active management strategy is performed better. So if you want to perform it better, you need to have this ability. Of course, you need to do some analysis. So you need to have stock picking abilities and market timing. Actually, when it comes to stock investment, you need to have 2 skills only. What to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. That's it. See? Okay. So Okay, so in this case, here is the right time. So in this case, actually my PhD focus on this one. So 20 years ago, okay, so I do this, come up with this idea. So why not? It's actually it's just what to buy and when to buy and when to sell. That's it. Why so complicated? But actually, it's a billion-dollar question. It's not easy to answer. So here, when you want to choose what life stock to invest using fundamental analysis, market people call this as an FA lah. This one called TA, okay, technical analysis. So fundamental analysis, so we examine the PE lah, we examine the price book value, we do a lot of analysis, okay. So the analyst on this stock broking firm, called this investment bank, they come up with a target price, and means they are doing fundamental analysis. Okay, technical analysis is you using all the chart now they got a lot of chart, isn't it? KFC screener also have it, so using technical analysis to find the timing. Based on research, based on experience, they're very good in timing, but they might not be good in the picking the right stock. Okay, because each of this method got weaknesses. So of course, the best is you integrate both together. Okay, so when we find this intrinsic value, the target price, you compare with current market price. So if the target price higher than current market price, you buy. It's the target price that you analyze by the analyst and then release it, okay, is lower than the market price, then you can see a lot of sell. So recently, there's many analysts downgrade a particular store. I don't want to mention the name of the store. I think those in the market, they understand what kind of store. So a lot of selling activity being done because analysts downgrade them. Okay, give a very low target price. Okay, so if the target price is equal to market price, we hold the share. So far, okay, so this is overall, okay, so as an investment, so your students are not taking the investment subject, it's fine, but at least you understand the main concept. Even for the public, this is the key concept that you're talking to. And then you must understand the target price. I had mentioned that analyst is also human being, and this is just a job, okay, because most of them having a CFA or either an MBA degree. Okay, so here when you do this analysis, they're also based on estimation. Estimation all got errors. Okay, so you can see the consensus. So you have to see the consensus. Okay, where does it stand? So when they analyze based on the information that they collected. Okay. And then here, so analyze all this, even fundamental and technical analysis, all this we consider as a modern finance, or we can call it as a traditional finance. So they assume that investors are rational. We are very rational. We use all this information, okay, give you all this information, and we are risk averse. We are afraid of the risk. And then when we invest, we want to maximize our utility, meaning our satisfactions, okay? So we are considered a rational economy man. So we're trying to find a rational solution to our decision making, meaning whether to invest or not invest in an uncertain environment. So we try to look for the tools, okay, to find these rational solutions. Okay? Then how about that? Okay, is it really true? Is this rational behavior, is it true all the time? Are we really rational? So now we come with another school of thought. Another school of thought is called behavioral finance. Okay, they say that, okay, not really true. We are human. Okay, so are we rational all the time? They say no, we are normal. We have the greed, we have the fear, we have behavior. So this behavioral finance is it occurs in late 1990s, okay, starting early 1990s to late 1990s. So when I was starting doing my PhD at the time. So here, so they draw the concept of this traditional finance, they put psychology inside, they put neuroeconomics inside. So in neuroeconomics, try to see how we make decisions under this uncertainty. Because stock market is very uncertain. So they see our brain chemistry here, understand how, okay, so whether how we using this our rational area and emotional area, this rational area, this emotional areas in the brain. Okay, so they do find out that we, okay, all this affect, we do have this emotional, okay? So our decisions, okay, the way information presented will affect our decision making. So this, when we make decision, we got emotional biases. Maybe today you're not in good mood, okay? Maybe being scolded by your boss or by your mother or something like that, okay? So, or cognitive biases means that you cannot understand the information being processed, or the information is incomplete a certain matter. So due to certain factors that you got cognitive biases. So in this case, you may or may not act in the very least adversity. You're supposed to avoid risk, end up you take more risk, something like that. You may act very rationally or you may not act. So if you behave like this, that is normal. Why we have this kind of behavior? Because we are human. Okay, here the traditional finance assume that we okay all the time, very good, no this kind of emotional issues. Okay, so in this case, end up our decision that we make is suboptimal from the rational. That's why sometimes the decision why like that one, because the person who make decision is suboptimal. Okay, maybe got fear, got bias, other okay issues that. So here that then we understand emotion do play a part, psychology do play a part in our decision making. So in MMU, I will not able to explain all this behavioral finance because we MMU we got one subject by itself. You need 42 hours to explain. That we only got 1 hour today. So I will just give some examples of behavioral biases that we have in the real life when we make decisions. Okay, especially this relate to the stock investment. So one of the very popular behavior biases that we have is overconfidence. Okay, so it will link to the confirmation bias. So for example, you look for the information to support a decision. You make a decision already, you buy a particular stock, then you want to say, I think the stock is very good, I think the stock just follow me, something like that. So here is overconfidence. We will actually have this overconfidence when we make a successful trade before with a good successful record. So your mind still in the past, not in the present moment. Now actually this stock, the information change, okay, the financial report of the company, the fundamentals of the company change, but you don't believe it. You're still looking for information to support its decision. So actually the biases that you have is overconfidence. Okay. Another biases that we can see in Malaysia, a lot of scenario, a lot of people, including me, I would say that we got this escalation bias. Okay. They will put more money in bad investment. Sometimes they say, oh yeah, this, okay, so we do not recognize it actually it's a bad investment. What we need to do is we have to cut loss stock, it's bad investment, okay? And then don't blame yourself. You have to say that, yeah, every one of us make mistake. So you have to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, okay? Also, then just stop it. It's a mere rational decision. Do not continue to put more money. Do not do dollar cost averaging down so that you can, okay? Because when you do a lot of this kind, you buy more, you are incurring escalation bias. This is one of the behavioral biases. Okay. Another this is a prospect theory. This prospect theory, I will say that this theory produced 3 Nobel Prize winners. Daniel Kahneman, Amos Tversky, and Richard Taylor. Okay, Richard Taylor using this prospect theory data, he come up with the mental accounting of this is okay. So the two earlier one, the person who was proposed this prospect theory is Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. So what do they say is the pain of the losses is stronger than the pleasure of your gain. When you make some certain losses, when you feel certain losses, it's very painful. It can be 2 times or 3 times painful than the things that you gain. It's not the same. Based on mathematically, it looks like the same. But actually our feeling, the emotion feeling is not the same. And then investor focus on loss aversion more than the risk aversion. Based on traditional finance, we think that we are afraid of risk. No, actually in the real life, we do not want to have loss because loss gives us very painful experience. Okay. And then that's why I have a tendency, what happened to the investor? Investor will sell the winner stock, the stock that you make profit, you sell quickly. You're afraid that it will later price come down again. So your profit taking too early. Then the stock that make losses, what will happen? End up you keep this stock very, very low. You should done the other way around, the stock that not good cut off. Okay, the stock that can continue to grow, the profit is that it grow a bit. Okay, but of course don't be overconfident. Don't have a greed element coming. So you must have aware. So this is called deposition effect. Okay, these are a few examples of that. And then we'll share also that this person who talking about the investor, irrational Loposhira, he also won Nobel Prize. So in this behavioral finance, they talk about many Nobel Prize theory. Okay, so far, okay. So here, then why then in this case, so that based on the research, say that behavior biases for individuals cannot be changed. For a company, yes. For an organization, it's possible. For individuals, okay. So if you read the work of this godfather of this behavioral finance, says that it's unavoidable. So when we put this behavioral finance subject, we just have an understanding that we know this. Will we repeat the mistake? Have this bias? Yes, might be. Okay, so now it's the first time in this human history tell us that with the scientific evidence say that actually we can overcome these behavioral biases. So how can we overcome it? We using mindfulness practices, okay, to help it. So in a way, say that our mind can be trained. Okay, we want to train our mind here. Okay, so mindfulness practices, of course, you heard about mindfulness, and you thought that it's just a former ancient sitting meditation. You have to go to the mountain to meditate. No such thing. Mindfulness can be done in a very informal way. It can be, of course, you can do a formal way, can be done very informal way as well. So then we can share this Daniel Kahneman, you know, the father of EQ, emotional quotient, the EQ guy. And then this Richard Davidson, actually this is student of him. Okay, it's a renowned scientist. Okay, they also written a book. Okay, Outer Traits, the Science of Mindfulness. So he said that doing this meditation process, you can change your brain, change your mind, change your body. So it will give a very great sense of well-being. Okay, so of course, you have very good well-being, you were able to make a very good decision. So it shows the power of meditation. So this is a very smart way to practice it to reach a maximum possible benefits. Obviously, these two persons, model they're so successful, they meditate. Okay, so you can watch a YouTube. Okay, you can share this. You can watch a YouTube. They post this YouTube on will explain this. I did watch that. Okay, now back to here, say that from the science perspective, so actually this David Richardson and the group, okay, so the neuroscientist has scanned the person, the meditator, long-term meditator and non-meditators to see what's the difference in the brain, what happened. So they using EEG, PET scan to check, okay. So here they will find that through this mindfulness practices, okay, you more aware of your body function themselves. When you get angry, you know that, oh, okay, I'm angry. And say that you're aware. Okay, so to the practices, so what do they do is they will reduce the size, volume size of this amygdala. Amygdala is the area that we make when we get panic. When we get panic or we face uncertainty, then amygdala is the one that will trigger the stress hormone. Answer to either fight or it's a flight. So answer is to fight or run away. Whenever someone asks you to do something, you say no, then you are running away. This is triggered by emotion. So our brain, this amygdala tell you this. So when do this mindfulness practices, you will reduce the size. And then at the same time, what do they find? The size of this prefrontal cortex is larger. Meaning is more, it's an area that we make a decision. So this is larger. So also they find that the meditators and long-term meditators, non-meditators, okay, the brain function interconnection is better, stronger. So in other words, those persons who practice these mindfulness practices for a long time, the mental functioning is higher as compared to those non-meditators. Okay, so in a way, YCFA Institute, Chartered Financial Analyst Institute, introduce this mindfulness practices for the members. They want their members, okay, to have a mental functioning which is higher, so they can make better decisions. Okay. So if they doing this and then Malaysia, we are not doing this, okay, then how to compete with in the West? Okay. Okay. So far, is it okay, Brian? Everything okay at your side, Brian?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good. So that is a sign that why we coming to do this work. Okay, that's why you come mindful investing. So of course there are many benefits. So you become more mindful, more compassionate, more kind. So these are some ethical automatic will come on and say, so that's why we hope that it's better that you start earlier because it takes time. It's a practice. So today is just learn the concept. Today our session we don't have a practice session. Okay, so we okay have a better understanding. So for now on, I will spend my time to talking what is mindfulness. Okay, so mindfulness, you can see here is very popular in Western society. Okay, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Okay, and then who actually meditates? Steve Jobs. Okay, the late Steve Jobs, the founder of the Apple, Bill Gates, Michael Jordan, the NBA basket guy, and then what the companies do mindfulness program for the employees. Google, they call it search inside yourself. Facebook, Intel, McKinsey, Aetna, CFA Institute, Goldman Sachs. The Goldman Sachs, they call it as a resilience because when you're more mindful, you're more resilient, okay? This program for the employees. So in this modern world, we're using apps to train, okay? So Invest, they got, US is a headspace. MindFi is Singapore-based. Myself, I'm a user of this MindFi, okay? I've used it since 2018. So we got Calm, we got High MindFi. My MindFi is more on the I think this is a Taiwanese based. Okay. Then in terms of academic articles, we got more than 6,000 academic articles on mindfulness related topic have been published. How about education? So in England, 370 schools is this, okay, the children in the school are being taught, okay, for this mindfulness program, okay, this under the British government initiative for the mental health. Because we realize that, okay, nowadays the young generations are also got a lot of stress, depression issues, so it can use mindfulness to cure it. And then mindfulness, one thing about it is a connective asset. You don't need to buy. You don't need additional resources. You can achieve this well-being. Okay, you'll be able to assist pleasant moment and be mindful. You don't need additional resources. And then the benefits is, of course, it's a continual practices. You can touch your life deeply, okay, every moment in your life, so you can calm your emotions, is more focused. You increase your ability for self-management, especially stress reduction. When you reduce your stress, then of course your mental health will better. For individual, of course you can sleep better. If you can sleep better, of course you can more perform because you focus. You're healthier and happier. For students, okay, so hopefully, even you don't invest, but you practice this mindfulness, you're more focused, more better academic performance. Then, of course, you can able to get a better job, you got more choices, but good results, okay? As an investor, okay, better investment performance. So this Jason Rose, he published in the paper. He meditates since the age of 7. So he's a fund manager. He finds himself that performance better than the peers, better than the benchmark indicator. He said that it's due to the mindfulness. You can read this paper if you want. I can share this paper. Okay. And then we like to explain. So in terms of this mindfulness, so John Kabat-Zinn is a person is very popular. Okay. So in this mindfulness, so he introduces mindfulness-based stress reductions. That's why myself, I go to this program online based on his syllabus. Okay, and then according to him, mindfulness, you need to have this attitude. Okay, so first you non-judging. When things coming to you, you don't judge. Just accept it what it is. You practice acceptance. You just see what they really are. So you try to see with the beginner mind, see it as a first time. And then anything happen to you is be patient. But some teams it might take their own time. So this process sometimes cannot be hurried. And then when you practice some things, you don't keep focusing on the outcome. If you keep focusing on outcome, you create more danger and result that you cannot achieve. Practice non-striving, just to be yourself, just enjoy the journey, then you will able to get it. That is something very difficult to practice. So you want to achieve something, but you don't aim on the outcome. Every day you aim on the outcome, I think you cannot get because why? You create the stress hormone, in our brain somehow they have it. So you just enjoy it to be yourself, enjoy the process. Eventually, you will able to achieve. So when things happen to you, is bad thing already happened. unexpected thing, what you have to do is accept it. Okay, just say, okay, accept it and then see how you need to solve it. Okay, for example, you made a bad investment, somehow stock investment. Okay, see what happened. And then don't blame yourself, be more, okay, kind to yourself. Okay, because if you do not be kind to yourself, you cannot be kind to others. Okay, so when you have a good experience, make a stock, make a lot of money, don't look for that kind of experience. Okay, you have to let go. Do not attach. Do not attach to good experience. Also, do not reject bad experience. Yes, observe it. Usually, we will attach to good experience. Yes, that is very normal. To practice letting go actually very, very difficult. But you need practice. Start looks a bit slowly. So this is what is attitudes. We can explain another talk on just talking about this. Okay, so I will just quickly go to the next slide. So that's why we have to focus on this present moment. Because I question, I'm the researcher, you give me some new concept, I want to buy, So, because why? Every moment is different because change is the natural aspect of life. Nothing is permanent. So when change happens, we have to accept it. So that's why every moment you live to the fullest, then you don't neglect, you don't attach because you already enjoy the best. So things change, just let go. So the richest of pleasant moment experience make you the richest of your life. Okay. So you practice all this concept because nothing is permanent. So here now, how to practice this mindfulness? Okay, I didn't ask you to go to meditate all the time. You need to work, you need to study. So we try to practice every moment that you do, you focus, you pay attention. For example, today you're having a breakfast, you're drinking a tea or coffee. Your mind focus on your tea or coffee. Your mind don't think about the past, don't think about the future. It might just pay your drinking. They enjoy your drink. The pleasure will come, the insight, the wisdom will come because you are fully alive. When your body and mind together, you're more fully alive. You can see things better. If your mind is I say now, ruminate, overthinking later, how like that, then your tea, the coffee that you drink is not fully, then you cannot enjoy it. Okay, so these are the examples of the mindfulness practices that we can do in the real life. These are using this is from the apps. So at the beginner, so we will recommend you in this modern world, okay, just using your handphone, download app and follow and practice it. Because you can do 1 minute, so okay. Got 3 minutes, one got 10 minutes. Start with 3 minutes. Okay. So a simple one is mindful eating. Now they pay attention when you eat. Do not eat with your handphone. Most of us when eating, you leave your WhatsApp, then it's not called mindful. Put your handphone away, focus on your food, okay? Just 10 minutes, okay? And then grateful eating. Don't complain on the food. I see Malaysian, a lot of people complain what they're eating. They say yesterday one better, today's one not good. Then you lost the joy. Then you make yourself very angry, no good. Later you buy go and make any decision, it's not good. So when you are emotional, when you get angry and fear, based on behavior finance, you are very emotional, do not make the decisions, okay? Only make decision when you're back to rationals, okay? A formal mindfulness practice is sitting meditations, okay? So you can start with 5 minutes or 10 minutes, okay? This is the rest is they try to explain different attitudes in the mindfulness, okay? So here, when you practice, your body and mind are together. So in you can read if you search Bill Gates or this person, okay. So what do they do? How do they practice it? They wash the dishes, focus the wash dishes. So as a way to practice mindfulness. So we recommend you every moment, okay, everything that you do in the daily life, be mindful. Okay, it's easier. So at least do mindful eating or grateful eating, then your mother will be very happy or wife will be happy with your cooking. With the cooking, they will cook more nicer. Okay. So if, or even those prepare your dishes, you happy, enjoy your cooking, your dishes will be very nice. Okay. So you practice mindfulness throughout every moment of your day. For example, when you're a lecturer who are teaching the subject, focus on your teaching. Okay, I never worry about teaching evaluations. I'm sure my teaching evaluation is good because I focus. Okay. So, and then another is a friendly reminder. Mindfulness is not able to see the benefits 1 day or 1 hour after sitting meditation, or even 1 hour after listening to my talk. It's a practice, it's a habitual. Okay, so if you think that after you practice you don't see the benefit back, don't be just be patient, keep going on. Okay, the process will come. Okay, so without regular practices, our mind will then go back to our habitual. Our habitual is we tend to live in the past or worry for the future. Okay, so sometimes you over worry means that we are not mindful. Then quickly come back to ourselves, to the present moment. And then for the female, I would say, do not do a lot of shopping, because sometimes we do shopping, we are shopping for the items that for the future. Next time in November, but when is the next time? So we do a lot of unnecessary shopping, because why? We only buy the item for the future. We're not buying items that for the present moment. We neglect the present moment. So in this case, when you are more mindful, you can reduce your consumptions. So here in US, actually mindfulness in the Western society, they more used as a stress reduction. So when so one would question how this help to promote your well-being, how to make why this company all this having this mindfulness program, because when they have mindfulness program, they reduce the stress of the employees. So it makes the staff more resilient to come back. Okay, and then they can become more creative. So when mindfulness enable one to observe our mind track, because our mind will using the habitual style of thinking. So when we are more mindful, we step outside to see what happened. Usually our habitual style of thinking, when something happens, usually we blame each other. That's why you can see a lot of people quarrel. Okay, you should do this, you should do that, that one is wrong. Sometimes we discounting the positive and we exaggerating the negative. We mind reading, I know that I know what you're doing. I know actually it's not true. We judge a person based on the past. Okay, so mindfulness coming and tell you, see this present moment. So when you have this mindfulness, anything bad thing happen or very stressful event happen to you, what you need to do is practice acceptance and then choose your response to it. You cannot change the event. You cannot change the stressful event. But what you can change, you change your response. That's how slowly your stress being reduced. So we recommend you to practice acceptance. Acceptance means not talking about giving up, I'm not surrender. We just accept it, forgive it, and we see what can we do now to solve this problem, become more rational. So if your body and mind are deeply connected to each other, you will release the stress in your body, will release the stress in your mind. Then in this case, your body and the mind are the same. So be more mindful and be more self-compassion. You can heal your body as well. Okay. So another is we'll explain more on this stress, because most of us will have this kind of issue, rumination, or we call it overthinking. When some negative stories happen to others or happen to yourself, it's always come up in your mind. You don't want to think, but you're still thinking it, and saying thinking over and over this problem, and then this beyond being useful. For example, you see this gentleman, having a nice coffee, but he pay his body, he's having a coffee present moment. But how about his mind? Is he pay attention to his coffee? He's thinking about the good time they spend with the friends. He think about the quarrel time, and then dispute, whatsoever. So he's not mindful. The body and the mind are not together. Mind travel to the past or travel to the future, and then keep thinking. If you know that you realize that your ruminations, your worry, please practice mindful breathing. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Okay. Sometimes the thought is a very real negative thought. Just a thought, just thought. Okay, then it will go away. Don't worry. Don't stick to it. Okay. And then, in this case, what do? You will cope with very unhealthy coping behavior, such as taking run, or play internet game, video games, or do a lot of unhealthy, okay, behavior, consumption, okay. So you want to quiet your mind, okay. So in this case, I said, you not helping yourself. Okay, so if this kind of situation, if you make an investment decision, I'm sure it's very bad decision. Okay, maybe lucky like you one day, one time successful, but it might not be successful all the time. Okay, so because you're not aware, so you have to get yourself out from this domination or liberty thoughts. It happened to everyone. So you will say, hello, you have a monkey mind, okay? Okay, so you illuminate, so find yourself, cool yourself down. That's why in this Google, okay, these companies, those who are having this mindfulness program, they give the room, a space for the staff to practice this mindful breathing, bring themselves back, okay, rather than keep rumination, because the more that you ruminate, it means the more stress that you have. Okay, so here back to this investment concept, this according to this is a CFA person, okay, who share this. So primary benefit is stress relief for practice this mindfulness in investment, because investment management actually is very stressful. Okay, it's not easy because nowadays with a lot of information, the market is getting more efficient. It's difficult to earn abnormal returns, no? A lot of information, okay? So, and then another second major benefit is you have better thinking. There are 2,000 studies say that, okay, those who practice mindfulness more often, okay, they can think better than those who do not practice it at all. So when you have any interruption, you will take less time for you to refocus. Myself, so in a way that you're more resilient. You can come back. Bad thing happen quickly, you can go to another thing. You will let go the earlier event. So you also help to see better the interconnectedness of the world. So back to the layman terms here, what should we do is you practice unit tasking, not multitasking. We used to do it. I used to do multitasking. We don't know where we learned it is too bad. Based on the scientific research nowadays, they say that unit tasking is better than multitasking. You can have many multitasks, but when you do it, just do single task at one time. For example, when I am sharing this talk to you, I focus. I do not play my handphone. I do not do other things. If I do other things, may consider multitasking. Then I will not able to deliver the best. So you practice unit tasking. When you're eating, mean eating. When you want to WhatsApp, okay, WhatsApp means chatting with your friend. Focus, okay. Don't chatting and eating and then talking with another body and make decision. I tell you, it will be a mess. It look very efficient, but actually the effectiveness is not there. You're not picking up the right decisions. And then another thing is how to reduce it. Okay, choose your response or the event that you have. You cannot change the event, but you can change your response. That's how you reduce your stress and practice unit tasking, not multitasking. You were able to see the benefits. I'm sure this one everyone of us can do it without any apps. We can do it in our daily. Start practicing. Okay, so mindfulness is something that you can practice and use now and for the rest of your life. So why wait? Okay, so I want to share what tools I use. Okay, so I will use many tools. These are the two tools I use. So when I having this overthinking, okay, actually this when my observation is sometimes overthinking is thinking of people's problem, not my problem. I also realized why people problem come to my mind keep appearing with no reason, so no purpose. So I had to quickly calm myself down, go to my bedroom, okay, put some essential oil if you can, to be send up even on the diffuser. So practice this one. You don't have to do 25 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is good enough. Okay, detach myself from this overthinking or worry. Slowly. Okay, this is free access. It appear on the YouTube. Okay, and then it was recommended by my friends that actually, okay, when I had this problem, he said, hello, you had this problem, go to practice. So I practice, okay. And then here is this one you need to subscription, but you can use it for free for a certain period, okay. I have made myself very clear, we are not selling this program, okay. We are not selling these two products. Okay, just share the tools, the digital tools that I use. I use My5 because in a way it's simple. We can use in 3 minutes. I start with 3 minutes first. Okay, because I happen to know this CEO when I met him in Singapore. Okay, so we got it free and then we practice it. Okay, so you can see I give a review. So you can My5. Okay, it's very simple, very nice. Okay, so and then usually when I feel stressed, okay, so I usually do number one, number three. The rest, no. The rest, if you have the time, it's okay. Because when we are took this, I have 2 certificates on this mindfulness. We are using how to release the tension. They call it as a body scan. The term they use, scientific term, is body scan. We scan our body part by part. The stress can be come to restore a lot of stress. The stress can come from ancestor, come from other people. Okay, so we had to release our attention. And then usually I start with present moment, bring myself back to present moment. After that, if I have time, I try to do number one, number three. Then it's getting better and better. I follow the apps lah. Okay. So with that, I end my sharing. So it's about 11:02. Now back to you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. So once again, thank you, Dr. Lai, for that insightful talk on mindful investing. I hope everyone will take note of the sharing by Dr. Lai as she managed